Hey, what's up everybody? Kasai here, and today we're going to take a look at my top 10 action figures of 2021. I felt like doing a list because I'm back on the video train, and I, as you may have noticed, like collecting action figures and customizing them. I did a top 10 list on my Instagram last year. 3 of those figures are here in front of you. The other 5 are just figures I enjoy, a modified Spider-Man, and 4 customs. Since I'm back on the video train, I wanted to do a video breaking down my top 10 figures of the year. I made a top 10 list on my Instagram last year, but I felt like doing a video version instead. So let's get into it. To start with, we have some honorable mentions. Miles Morales here from the video game is a damn fantastic figure, and I definitely need to get another one because I stole his hands for the next figure. Next up is the No Way Home version of the upgraded suit Spider-Man. And this guy is my favorite Spider-Man figure I own. However, he is just a modified version of the figure we got back in 2019. So he just didn't quite make the cut because of that. But he is my favorite. And I did give him the Miles hands. Next up is this shameful Spider-Man here. I was so excited for the What If Spider-Man because I really wanted a good, like a great red and blue MCU style Spider-Man figure, and this guy looks great, but it doesn't have the butterfly joints. The red is darker and duller than the No Way Home / Far From Home version, and that the head is massive for some reason. It was so close. If it had the butterfly joints, if it had the red, and I mean, I could live with the head and just swap it with a different figure, but if it's just those two things that really just let me down, and I really wanted to love that figure. Red Guardian over here. I freaking love this figure, and I love him in the Black Widow movie. However, this figure is essentially just a re-release and a redo of the 2020 version that had the very inaccurate unmasked head. As much as I love this guy, he is just a re-release, so he didn't make the top 10. Next up, we have the U.S. agent, John Walker. John Walker is my favorite, absolute favorite new MCU character as of this year. Wyatt Russell absolutely killed it. John Walker is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters now because of him, and because of his portrayal in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love this figure. I love even more the Captain America version because this one is essentially just a black version of that. It's not actually the U.S. agent costume, which I am sure we'll get a figure of sometime next year, and I very much look forward to that. But for now, I do love this figure, and he deserves an honorable mention. And last but not least is this comic Iron Man. I don't quite remember what model this is or what title this one has. I do know it's from Marvel vs. Capcom, or it was in Marvel vs. Capcom. Obviously, it was in the comics before that. This figure I got by complete happenstance. I submitted a request for a replacement figure but he was almost on my top 10 list just because he is like fun and weird, and he has all pinless joints, and he's an entirely dedicated sculpt, and I like him a lot. I'm not going to collect comic figures, but I like him a lot. And he's just a freaking goober. Starting us off at number 10, we have the Jazzwares Spartan Collection Sarah Palmer. She is a super dope figure. I have some minor gripes with her, which is why she is at number 10. But otherwise, I really love the figure. I like the character quite a lot in the games. and I am very happy to have her. Next up in the number 9 spot is Captain Carter from the Disney Plus Wave 2 of Marvel Legends. I really love this figure quite a lot. My only real issue with her is that the shield is too small compared to like all my other MCU shield wearing characters. And her legs are very long, so trying to get her in a dynamic stance seems to kind of always have her legs like really far apart. But otherwise, she's a fantastic figure, and I really like her in the show, and I'm glad we have her in the MCU. Next up, we have the Jazzwares Spartan Collection Emil. I love this figure a whole lot. He really just suffers from some paint issues. Like most of the Jazzwares Spartan figures, he could use a black wash, which I have not given him yet. But otherwise, I freaking love the way this figure looks. I think he is god dang fantastic. And I am very happy to have him. Emil is one of my favorite members of Noble Team, as I'm sure he is for most people. So yeah, I am very happy to have him as a freaking dope figure. Next up in the number 7 slot is the No Way Home Doctor Strange figure. I love this guy, however, I have some minor issues with him, one of which being that the paint on one of his power effect spell hands was just scraping away like nobody's business when I got him. And I really don't like his legs, as they are reused from the original Doctor Strange body, which at this point is quite dated. So they're really stiff. This was definitely a figure I was very much looking forward to. And he is easily the best MCU Doctor Strange figure in the Marvel Legends. So I am still very happy to have him. In the number 6 slot is Sam Wilson's Captain America. I love this figure. I think he is gosh dang fan-freaking-tastic. I love the wings, however, they are a bit, they're a bit wibbly-wobbly. And his little red wing doesn't connect very well, and he only came with 2 hands. I know that they're re-releasing him with some better paint apps and fists, which I kind of want, but I also don't really want the extra cap from that 2-pack. So we'll see if I get that or not, but otherwise I do really love this figure, and I love this costume, and I'm happy that Sam Wilson is Cap in the MCU. Next up is the Scarlet Witch from WandaVision, with the cloak I got from eBay, and she didn't come with that, but this costume is easily her best, and it is freaking fantastic, and I cannot wait to see more of it. And WandaVision before Hawkeye was my second favorite Disney Plus show. This costume is just fantastic. In the number 4 slot is the Marvel Legends Zombie Captain America. This figure is just a stupid amount of fun, and who the hell ever thought we were going to get Marvel zombie figures until What If rolled around, and now we got freaking Zombie Captain America, and he's one of the most awesome figures of the year. In the number 3 slot is Bo-Katan from the Star Wars Black Series. I was so goddamn excited once Bo-Katan showed up in The Mandalorian Season 2. I was so hyped to get a figure of her, and we did, and it is damn fantastic. I could not ask for it to be any better. It's pretty perfect as far as I'm concerned, and I have felt no need to modify anything. In the number 2 slot is the one and only John Walker Captain America. He is easily my favorite new character in the MCU this year. And I am just so glad I got a dope-ass figure of his Captain America costume, because honestly, it's probably my favorite look of his right now. And in the number 1 slot is the Hasbro Dungeons & Dragons Drizzt Do'Urden and Guinevere figures. Drizzt is the number 1 figure. Guinevere, sort of an honorable mention. The two go hand in hand as characters. So she's a companion piece. She has to be there. You can't really have one without the other. But the Drizzt figure is damn fantastic, easily the best of the year, and I wish Hasbro would do more D&D figures, because if they were all on this level, it would be an incredible, mind-blowing line. Whether you're a D&D fan or just want some dope fantasy action figures. So I hope that we get some more at some point. I was really hoping for them to reveal another one at PulseCon this year, but no such luck. So that's my top 10 figures of 2021. If you disagree with my list, you're wrong, and you should shut up and cry for being wrong. But anyway, yeah, obviously I didn't get the largest amount of figures this year. I never really tend to. And most of these are Hasbro and specifically MCU. But that's really just what means the most to me, and that I care the most about having figures of, other than Halo and recently, as of this year, D&D. Unfortunately, there's just the one, so I had to make my own, and then some Star Wars figures. But this year was a damn fantastic year for Hasbro MCU Marvel Legends after a super dry, dull year last year. The Marvel team in general has been just absolutely killing it, as well as the Halo team at Jazzwares. They are absolutely knocking it out of the park. There are some weird decisions being made with those figures, and some weird inconsistencies, but otherwise I'm loving the Halo line still. I need to give those two a wash, as I mentioned before, but otherwise I'm very happy with most of the figures I got this year. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what your top figures are. If they are not the ones that I have shown here, you're wrong, and you should shut up and cry, because you know you're wrong, and you should think about the consequences of you being wrong and just blatantly spreading misinformation about what figures are the best this year, because these are obviously the top 10 best figures, and who could disagree with that? I'll see you guys in the next video.